Something we've been asked about a few times is how to add certificates into containers. This normally comes up in enterprise settings, where an organisation has their own certificate authority that issues certificates for their services. This is typically for security or control reasons, but can also be related to regulatory requirements in some cases. Now what this means is if you work for FooCorp and you want to talk securely to FooCorp services, you need to have the FooCorp certificate, which comes from the FooCorp Certificate Authority. It does get a lot more complicated than that, with identity management, certificate authorities, change of certificates, policies, code signing, etc., but we won't get into that stuff in this video. So if you're a FooCorp engineer and you're using a container that needs to talk to FooCorp services, you're going to need to add that FooCorp public certificate into your container. And how do you do that? Well, one simple way is just to volume mount the certificate at runtime. That will work and it's simple, but it does mean that everybody that uses the container has to go through the same pain of mounting their certificate. So another solution is just to build the certificate into the container. And in this video, we're going to look at a simple tool called Incert that creates container images with the certificates added into them. So, to the terminal. So the first thing we're going to do is to create a self-signed certificate. In an enterprise setting, you probably already have a certificate available, and that would have been created by a proper certificate authority, but for our purposes, this is going to be perfectly fine. I'm going to be using the Cloudflare CFSSL toolkit. You could also use OpenSSL, but CFSSL is a lot easier to use, in my opinion. So the first thing we need to do is create a certificate sign-in request in JSON format. These are the hosts that we want it to be before, so we're going to be creating a certificate for example.com, and here's the algorithm we're going to use and some more metadata. And then we're going to run CFSSL self-sign, so create a self-sign certificate, give it the host name and the file. If I run that, it's going to output JSON, but we actually want a PEM file for Incert, and most security tool generally takes PEM files. So we're going to run it through CFSSL JSON, and this should give me PEM files out. Okay, and we get warnings about using self-signed certificates, so that's good. But we also have our key and our certificate. Okay, and the next thing I want to do is start an Nginx container that uses these certificates to provide TLS. So I have an Nginx config file, and what this file does is very simple. Listens on port 8443 for SSL. It provides for example.com, and here's the certificate and the certificate key. So the next step is to run Nginx. And this is our command here, so we're running on port 8443, and we're going to forward that to port 8443 on the host. We mount this Nginx config, and we mount the certificate, and we're using the Chainguard Nginx image. Okay, so now I should be able to do, and I expect this to error because we don't have the certificate. Yeah. We can tell curl to ignore that, and we get Nginx. But that's not what we want. We want to be able to connect securely to this service without passing this -k flag for insecure. To achieve this, we're going to create an image based on the Chainguard curl image with the certificate in it. And I'm actually going to use the container network here. So we'll first figure out the IP address of the Nginx container. So I figured out it's called Goofy Write, and by using docker inspect, we can tell its IP address is 172.17.02. So perfect. We can then do a docker run of this Chainguard curl image, and we're going to ask it to curl example.com 8443. Now you're saying, well, how is it going to, example.com is an existing website. But here I've told Docker to add a DNS setting that maps example.com to the address of my Nginx container. So it's not actually going to go to example.com on the internet, it's going to go to this local address 117.17.0.2. So this should work. I've not passed insecure though, so it's going to tell me, hey, I don't know the certificate. So that's fine and expected. The next step is to create an image that has our self-signed certificate inside it. And for that, we're going to use the Incert tool. So Incert, very simple tool. We'd love to get more feedback on it. All it's going to do is take a certificate and add it into an image. So here what we're saying is use the certificate file self-signed.pm. I want to build an image for the Linux ARM64 platform, which is my local host. The image we're going to add to is a Chainguard curl image. So this is our base image. And the image and the registry that we're going to upload it to is ttl.sh, and we're going to call it curl with cert. Now ttl.sh is basically a free public registry from Replicated that you can use for testing stuff. It's a great resource, so many thanks to Replicated, but it's public, so don't be uploading certificates from your company there. That would be a very bad thing. In this case, it's fine because it's just a local certificate that I'm not going to use again. Okay, that'll take a little minute to run. Okay, so now we've created this ttl.sh curl with cert image with the CA certificates based on this Chainguard curl image. So if I go back to my docker run command and I change it to use this image, first I have to download it, but now it works. So it's successfully connected securely because it has the cert in it. A note that cert was inserted at the operating system level. Like it's not been appended to curl. I haven't given an argument to curl to say use this cert. It just used it automatically because it was in the operating system. So I hope you agree that's a really easy way to add your certificates to an image. Hopefully you can imagine making it part of a workflow. Maybe using Sigstore to verify the base image that you use, and again to re-sign the new image that's created. Incert is a new tool, so please do let us know if you start using it, if it's useful to you, and what extra features you need. Thanks for watching.